Good morning, everyone. You're welcome to Module 5 of the GSP 1201-2201 Use of English. This module basically focuses on oral English, otherwise known as phonology. The model attempts to provide practical explanation in order to improve the students' ability to develop effective speaking skills in the English language. So we're going to look at items like the sounds of English, syllable structure, strains, as well as the English intonation pattern. The English sounds. In English, generally, sounds are categorized into either vowels or consonants. Vowels, these are voiced sounds in the production of which there is no obstruction of the air passage. In English, there's no specific number of vowels. It depends on the perspective of the phonologist you would want to apply. Therefore, to some scholars, these vowels can be categorized into 20. Some categorize them into 21, 24, or even 25, depending on the perspective you've taken. While consonants are sounds in which the movement of air from the lungs is obstructed as a result of narrowing or a complete closure of the air passage. These are also further subdivided into categories. Now, is there any difference then between a vowel and a consonant? Actually, the essential difference between vowels and consonants is that for a consonant, there is blockage and available friction, whereas for a vowel, there isn't. This is because vowel sounds themselves, they are very hard to describe because in their production, the articulators are not close enough for friction. It is possible, however, to see how vowels are formed mainly by looking at the shape of one's lips, either neutral, opened, rounded, or spread. The quality of a vowel depends on the position of the lips. And the vowel sounds also depend on which part of the tongue is highest and how close it is to the roof of the mouth. Say, for example, T, to, he, had, who, and so on. And this is why the English spelling itself is not really in any way related to the words, to the way the words. The spelling consists of 26 letters of English alphabet. That is, when we talk about orthography, while pronunciation involves 44 sounds. And these sounds are represented by symbols. Here's a diagram which shows the division in the English sounds. Consonants, orthographic consonant, 24. Vowels could be either 20, 21, 24, or 25. Voiced consonants, 15. Voiceless, 9. Monophthongs, that is single vowels, 12. Diphthongs, 8. And still there are triphthongs, which could be 2, 3, 4, or even 5. That is aya, owa, aya, oya, and awa, which this diagram has mistakenly omitted. Then under monophthongs, we have both long and short vowels. Consonants are grouped into two, voiced and voiceless. The voiced consonant sounds include b, d, g, v, z, v, j, j, w, n, r, y, ng, that is. And then the voiceless consonant sounds are p, t, k, f, th, s, sh, ch, and h sounds. Well, for vowels, we have monophthongs, which means single vowels. Amongst them are E, I, U, U, E, O. I mean O, E, O. The long vowels are E, U, O, and A. While short vowels are I, U, E, A. While for diphthongs, that is, diphthong, when we say diphthong, it means the combination of two monophthongs. Monophthongs means one vowel sound. So what creates diphthong is the combination of two single vowel sounds. For example, you combine I and A, and you have ear as a diphthong. So diphthong is a combination, or is the joining of two single vowels to create a diphthong. Diphthongs are ear, ua, a, oi, I, o, and ow. We can still have triphthongs, which is a combination or the joining together of three single vowel sounds, as in eya, awa, aya, oya, and awa. They are not represented, however, in these minimal pairs. This refers to a situation when two words are identical in form except for a contrast in one phoneme occurring in the same position. Study the following examples. Pet, bet, fan, fan, bet, and bat. Vowel mutation, which refers to a situation whereby a vowel sound is realized in one form of an English word but differ in another form of a word. For example, the ear sound in drive changes to another vowel sound when the form of the word reads drivation, which requires the sound. Here are more examples of such words. Divide on one hand, and then you have division on the other. Decide, decision. Criticize, criticism. Multiply, multiplication. Syllable structure and consonant cluster. Syllable is a word or part of a word which contains a vowel and a consonant and is normally represented as CV, that is consonant vowel. For example, in the word girl, we have a consonant and a vowel. The word liver consists of two syllables, that is li, which is consonant plus vowel, and v, which is also consonant plus vowel, and then another consonant. On a general note, a syllable must contain a vowel sound. This means that a vowel sound can constitute a syllable in a word. For example, the initial R in a way stands as a syllable. Words of one syllable include came, home, south, broom, blue, and so on. Two-syllable words, teacher, marker, curfew, madam, purchase, and motion. Three-syllable words, photograph, chancellor, elevate, assistance, informal. Four-syllable words, education, comparable, intelligence, agriculture, development. Words of five syllables include selectivity, extravagancy, consideration. Six-syllable words, extraordinary, superiority, internationalize, experimentation. Seven-syllable words, intelligibility, responsibility, industrialization. Eight-syllable words, irreconcilability, Internationalization. Consonant cluster. Well, consonant cluster is a situation whereby a word or a syllable in a word contains two or more consonants occurring together in the same environment. That is to say, a consonant cluster is just like a sequence of two or more consonants, and amongst them, well, I mean, meaning without any intervening vowel sound between or among them. For example, the word free, f and v form a cluster because we have to pronounce them without a vowel in between. F rather than fear. Two consonant cluster sounds: trouble, dress, pleasure, pride, prince, three, style, school. Three consonant cluster: spring, splash, scribe, helps, crafts, dumped, expects, next. Four consonant cluster words: exclaim, explain, extract, texts, exempts, twelfths. The next item is stress and then information. What is this stress? This is something we've all had every now and then as far as pronunciation is concerned. Stress is nothing but a kind of an extra force, extra effort, emphasis, importance, if you like, or extra pressure we normally laid on a part of word or sentence while speaking. Normally, the number of syllables stressed by the speaker depends largely upon the nature of the words that composed the utterance. Therefore, an utterance which has a lot of lexical or content words is likely to receive more stress than one with structural or grammatical words. For example, if in an utterance we see one or more of the words as stressed, it means that they are said with greater effort, greater force than the others, and that the others are said more weakly. They are said in a more weak manner than those that are stressed. So the ones that are said to be stressed are said with an extra effort, extra weight. As a rule, every English word has a definite place for the stress, and we are not allowed to change it. Some words have stress on the first syllable, others on the second. Some words have two stressed syllables, others have only one. Let's take a look, for example, at this statement. I could hardly believe my eyes. I could hardly believe my eyes. You'll notice that in this statement, about three words are given more prominence while pronunciation. For example, you'll notice that the first syllable in hardly, the second in believe, and the only one syllable in eyes are said with greater effort, greater force than the others, meaning that they are the stressed syllables in the statement. Listen to these other examples. 14, disbelieve, terrified, intensify, contradiction, qualification. In 14, you find that the word has only two syllables, and both syllables are given prominence. That is, all of them are stressed syllables. In the word disbelieve, you find that the first and the last syllable are given more prominence, which means then the second syllable B is not stressed. In terrified, you find that the first and the last syllable are also stressed, while the second is not. Intensify, you find that the stress falls on the second and fourth syllable, while in contradiction, you find that the first and the second to the last syllable are stressed, while in qualification, you find that the stress comes on the first and the fourth syllable. Unstressed syllables. Well, it is not very easy to find out which syllables in an English word must be stressed. However, we are expected to try to learn how a word is stressed anytime we learn about a new word. As a rule, all words of more than one syllable are supposed to be stressed. Words of one syllable are generally not stressed if they are purely grammatical or structural words. For example, words like pronouns, I, me, you, he, she, it, they. Prepositions, to, for, at, from, of, by, in, on, or articles are, on, the, some. All this shouldn't be stressed as a rule. 3. Other words are stressed. For example, verbs, full verbs like eat, take, try, walk, go, sit. Nouns, head, book, chair, pen, board, watch. Adjectives, good, blue, long, happy, nice, and so on. Adverbs, well, just, quite, and so on. In other words, words which give us most of the information are the ones to be stressed. For some special purposes, it is possible to stress any English word, even if it is a structural one, but usually it is not stressed. The next rule is that syllables which are not stressed often contain the sure vowel, vowel top, which is otherwise known as the sure vowel, that is the otherwise known as the banana vowel. It is the vowel that appears in the word banana. This vowel mostly occurs in unstressed syllables and never in stressed ones. And now let's see how words, the particular syllables in which stress falls. Stress on the first syllable. Farmer, teacher, madam, curfew. Stress on the second, inform, concern, consume, record. And in some instances, or generally, as we have said earlier, that full nouns and verbs are also supposed to be stressed. Normally, you find that full verbs take their stress on the second syllable, while nouns mostly take their stress on the first. For example, as a noun, we have contract. The verbal form should be read as or pronounced as contract. Example 2, insult for the noun, while the verbal form insult. Example 3, the nominal form takes contrast, while the verbal form contrast. Words of 3 syllables may also be stressed on the first, second, or third syllable depending on the particular word. Stress on the first syllable, telephone, bachelor, barista. Second, imperial, enjoyment, superior. Third, guarantee, addressee, refugee. We also have stress in words. For example, here's your permit. I'll permit you to go. Here's your permit. Permit in the first instance is used as a noun, while in the second as a verb. The ball is not perfect. Will you perfect it? The suspect was guilty. Did you suspect them? There's no comfort in the room. I'll endeavor to comfort her. Now, the next item is intonation pattern. Intonation is referred to as the musical sound of the voice while pronunciation. It is the general direction of your voice when you utter a sentence or a statement. Tune has been divided into different categories. There's the rising tune, the falling tune, the glide down, the glide up, and so many of them. So what we'll do here is we'll just try to see some examples where these tunes appear. For sentences which are complete and definite, use the glide down. For example, it was quite good. I liked it very much. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. If the statement is intended to be soothing or encouraging, use the glide up. I shan't be long. Jan will be here soon. I won't drive too fast, so don't worry. If the statement is a grumble, we use the take off. I didn't hurt you, so I make all that fuss. You can't possibly do that. You ought to know better. I did, which implies kind of a grumbling contradiction. If the statement is not complete but leading to a following word group, use the dive. I looked at him and recognized him at once. She took the car and drove to London. Whenever he comes to visit us, he tries to borrow money. If the statement is intended as a question, use the glide up. You like it. You can't go. He doesn't want to let you eat. For statements which show reservations on the part of the speaker and which might be followed by but or by you must admit or I must admit, use the dive. He's generous, but I don't trust him. He's handsome, you must admit. I could take you there tomorrow, but not today. I like your hat, I must admit. It wasn't a very nice thing to do, you must admit. If the statement is a correction of what someone else has said, use the dive. He's 45, 46. I like him a lot. You used to like him. I can't do it. We can't do it that way. If the statement is a warning, use the dive. You'll be late. I shan't tell you again. You mustn't shake too much. If the statement has two parts of which the first is more important than the second, use the dive with the fall at the end of the first part and then the rise at the end of the second. I went to London on Monday. You can keep it if you like. Want it? He was very well when I last saw him. I'm very comfortable, thank you. WH questions containing which, what, who. How's your daughter? When are you coming to see us? When did you get back from holiday? Use the glide down if you want the question to sound more businesslike and interested in the subject, and also for one word question, unless they are repetition questions. Why did you change your mind? Who on earth was that? Which? For repetition questions, when you're repeating what someone else question, or when you want the other person to repeat some information, use the take off. When did I go? Or where? Why? Because I wanted to. I arrived at 10 o'clock. When? It took me 2 hours. How long? John told me to do it. Who told you to do it? For yes/no questions, question answerable to yes or no. For short question used as a response like did you, has he, etc., use the glide down. Mariam's on holiday. Is she? I went to the theater last night. Did you? For all other yes/no questions, use the glide up. Have you seen him yet? Did Binta post that letter? Can I see it? And you notice that the glide up is also used for repetition question of this type. Have you seen him yet? Have I seen him yet? Will you help me? Will I help you? For tag question after comments, use the take off. Come over here, will you? Let's have some music, shall we? Hold this for me, would you? If neither the statement nor the tag question have the word not in them, use the take off. You liked it, did you? They'd like some more, would they? Where the word not occurs in either the statement or the tag question, use the glide down to force the other person to agree with you. It's cold today, isn't it? In which case you're forcing the answer yes. It was a very good film, wasn't it? You won't worry, will you? Here also you're forcing the answer no. He can't really help it, can he? When you don't want the other person to agree with you, but to give his opinion, you use the take-off. You're coming to tea with us, aren't you? You weren't here on Wednesday, were you? He didn't look ill, did he? For comments, if you want the comment to sound more pleading or sound more like a request than an order, use the dive with the fall on the do or don't. Shut the window. Do have some more tea. Send it as soon as you can. Don't make me angry. We should also try to notice commands with only one important word. Try. Take it. Lend it to them. For strong commands, use the glide down. Don't be a stupid idiot. Take your feet off the chair. Come and have dinner with us. Have some cheese. Exclamations. For strong exclamations, use the glide down. Good heavens! How extraordinary! What a very pretty dress. Nonsense. Splendid. Remember that thank you comes in this class when it expresses real gratitude. Thank you. Thank you very much. For greetings and for saying goodbye, you use the glide up. Good morning. Hello. Goodbye. Good night. If the exclamation is questioning, use the takeoff. Oh, really? Well, for exclamations which refers to something that is not very exciting or unexpected, use the glide up. Thank you. Good. All right. Good luck.